Okay, we're now into lesson 7, which is expression versus repression. Expression is nature in action, mind in motion, growth in unfoldment, making use of that which already is. The universe is the result of the expression of universal mind or God, and a process of creation is still going on. Judging from the human standard, the world seems to evolve very slowly, but a divine principle has been unfolding throughout eons of time, letting consequences be what they may, and little by little the stepping up process has brought the universe to a higher level. The idea that man comes into extinction through mere chance and that their purpose in life is to secure comfort and ease for themselves, escaping life's difficulties as best they can and may, is an enormous conception. The soul of the individual, let's use the individual, is a living thing. It can no more be kept in one state of unfoldment than can a plant which unfolds one leaf after another, the bud and then the blossom, changing day after day as it grows toward perfection. Nature is always changing. One stage of development or growth succeeds another. So does the life within the individual grow and develop. Their length of years on the earth plane is comparatively short, but the distance which they travel on their path to self-unfoldment depends entirely upon themselves. They may travel far, or they may be but a little further along at the end of this experience. That's like karma. Karma is the principle of you don't do it right the first time, you get a second shot until you do it right at some point in the future. You may make little gains on it, but when you get the final, you get the whole answer, then you get to move past that into something new. The distance which they travel depends upon the faithfulness with which they express the life within, which is capable of very great development and is of priceless worth. But there are few people who realize the value of the real self and know that the life within is divine. Expression is the law of life, for it means growth. Great achievement is not essential, but growth is essential. One must not say, I have no special talent and therefore I have nothing to express. If the individual is a street sweeper, there is within him the individual divine attributes which, if allowed to express normally, will help in the creation of the perfect world toward which the divine plan is leading. It is not even necessary that they understand the principle involved in expression. It is only required that they follow the law of growth. If unfettered, this law will work itself out in their life and bring them to a higher degree of expression. It would be impossible for the grain of corn to ever evolve into an apple tree, but by following the law of expression, it may become a perfect stalk of corn. There are certain well-defined tendencies within each individual. By the natural outworking of these tendencies, it is comparatively easy for a person to win success. One may express along other lines, but not within the same ease of performance or appearance of satisfactory results, or assurance of satisfactory results, which is, we're all individuals and we all have our own capabilities, and that's what we're working toward. No one is commonplace. Everyone is the manifestation of God and contains within their inner being possibilities of greatness. Too often those possibilities remain dormant, but when they are given free rein, the results are tremendous. That gets us into, if you're concerned about finding the Creator, finding God, don't be too concerned, because the idea that you're beginning to look for that connection, the connection has already found you. One of the greatest foes of self-expression is fear of what others may think, and we've talked about that. An individual cherishes a dream but fears that someone may laugh or think them foolish if they try to bring it into expression. So they hide this talent. Fear is a cowardly foe which retreats as soon as faced. Often one person will refrain from doing what their inner self prompts them to do because they are afraid of what the world will say. But presently, They see another carrying his plan into execution, and the whole world gives honor. The fear was nothing but a phantom which the second individual did not see at all, and so reap the reward of action. You can't let other people hold you back. If you worry about what other people think, and you base your action or inaction on what you perceive they will think, you will do nothing except be a victim. Another thing that prevents many people from coming into their spiritual inheritance is the fact that their work seems so infinitesimal, so unimportant in comparison with the great deeds they expect sometime to do. So they let the present opportunity pass by, waiting for a chance to do greater things. Everything great or small that you do is a contribution to that. And the simplest part of a workman laying a foundation is just as important as the person who builds the house. Just a little dirtier job, but it's just as important. It is like the story of the soldier on the battlefield who was standing idly by because he had no weapon. The king's son came by also without a weapon, but he seized a broken sword from the hand of a fallen comrade. Grasping it firmly, he rushed into the thick of conflict and led his men to victory. You must permit free expression to your degree of life in order to gain more. You must give expression to whatever demands expression in your life, whether it seems little or great. Before you can accomplish great deeds, you must have the practice in the seemingly unimportant experiences. The master said to the servant who has done his best, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things."
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
What is free expression? I mean, what exactly? What does that feel like? What does that look like?
Be yourself.
Well, how do you know when something's an urge to express yourself, and when it's
How do you feel about it? Whatever it is, how does it feel to you?
I'm trying to think of a good example. Okay, well, I'm picturing a guy that's loud, he's raucous. It feels good to him to be loud and laugh and stuff. But what if he's just trying to fill a desire for attention?
Exactly.
He should just do it anyway?
Well, that's his life.
Well,
If he is that insecure, and this has to probably focuses more on insecurity about who and what he really is.
that's what I'm saying. How do you know if something's a desire for expression, or if it's trying to fill a hole of?
You will know the difference.
Because it's yours.
Yeah, and it'll have a different feeling. Are you doing this? Are you if you look at, are you doing this because you want to move somebody else to see you as such, or as whatever? Or are you doing it as an expression of your own self, and you don't care what anybody else thinks? Are you trying to placate somebody, or are you trying to satisfy yourself?
Okay, yeah, that makes total sense. But wait a second.
All of a sudden, that's what
Yeah, I mean, well, one of the things that I'll try to do sometimes is pretend like there's nobody on Earth and see if I would do the same thing, you know?
How do you know there is anybody on there?
Well, I don't.
Yeah, it's all illusion.
Like that's one thing that I try to do. But I mean, if I did that, like I don't even want to tell you guys what I would do, but there's things that I would do that I don't want to do because I'm
now I want to know.
I'm worried what people would think. Well, like say let's just say I want to skip down the street. I went for a jog thing a couple days ago, and I made myself. One of the things I want to do is I want to embrace the sunlight. I want to stand there and like this, but I don't want to do that in public. I've seen people do that, and they look like freaks. they we're freaks,
What?
In the middle of my yard, no, you'll see it.
Yeah, well, that's why that's like when
We come up
we,
here and discuss it.
when Sparrow and I bought our house, you know, we were looking for houses, and the real estate agent asked me, you know, what we were looking for, and I said, well, we're looking for a place that if I want to go out on my back deck barefoot and buck naked, I can do it, and nobody's going to say I can't.
Yeah.
See, if you worry about what other people are going to think, then you'll never do anything that you want to do, because you'll be doing things that you think they want you to do.
Yeah, but I always want to know why I want to do it. I mean, everything seems material.
If it doesn't,
Everything seems material.
yeah, but if it doesn't, here's a gauge maybe you could use. If potentially it could seriously impact adversely someone else, someone you either know or somebody you're not even aware of their existence, then maybe you should reconsider about whether you should do it or not.
Yeah. I mean, none of my stuff is like that.
Well, then
Anyways.
if it's free, if it's your own free self-expression, and if you want to go around buck naked and barefoot and dance around your front yard, as long as nobody's offended by it, you know.
No, I thought we weren't supposed to worry if people were offended.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's free expression.
But then we'll have to deal with the consequences.
But you got to be yourself.
I don't have bail money for you, so let's not free express too much.
And don't be distracted by the people with cameras.
There you go.
YouTube.
I used to could have been able to do that in here.
Yeah,
I can't now.
before more neighbors came.
Yeah, I got more neighbors, but I used to lay back here.
We have a neighbor who is,
Wow, Jen.
well, we have our neighbors who are like that. They're,
Yes, we do.
On their own property, I mean, you know, dress is optional
Oh.
for them and the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you're
Well, I don't know if that's their philosophy or not, but you know, they,
It happens.
one side of the relationship enjoys the son to, you know, to an extreme degree. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, that's fair.
very well thought out.
So I guess free expression is, you know, if it's any way going to impinge on somebody else, then maybe you should reconsider it, or at least do it in a situation where no one else is affected by it. So, you know.
Wait, now my brain, so, I mean, I thought we weren't supposed to care what people thought.
Well,
Are you saying as long as they don't go paint on somebody else's house? You know, like, 'cause that's
Yeah, if you
kind
want
of,
to paint your house, that's fine.
I mean, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Because, I mean, what if I want to wear bright pink
wear bright paint. I don't think it'll do you justice.
hammer pants with black polka dots
I don't
on?
think it'll do you justice. It
That's
doesn't.
going to offend a lot of people.
So,
Why would they be offended?
the only people who probably wouldn't be offended are colorblind, and so what difference does that?
But, so I was just making sure that you weren't saying, because you were saying as long as you don't something on people, as long as you
Well,
don't
you know,
impinge,
yeah.
or,
Yeah, adversely affect, you know.
well, that's adverse, isn't it? I just keep
No.
getting
No.
tiny, they don't have to look.
Yeah.
Well, what's adverse then?
Well,
I'm
all right,
finding the
all right.
definition,
Here's
I like
probably
stuff on
a
this.
gross oversimplification of adverse. If you have a 36, 24, 36 figure, and you walk around butt naked and barefoot, and somebody's a perfect 12, 12, 12, 12, you probably would hurt their sensitivities.
Okay.
All right, that's division 36, 24, 36, 12, 12, 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They might feel a little self-conscious about that.
Well, I think that one of the things that you have to be aware of, everybody's an adult or something like that is one thing, but if there's children
Yeah.
or people that really would, like my mother, really would go, I think that would not be good, especially if
Yeah.
they're old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Use your thinking in this context.
Yeah, I mean, that's having
Yeah.
compassion too. I
Yes,
mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I still don't have an answer. I'm not sure I'll ever have an answer. But let's move on.
Well, no, let's see if we can get you an answer that you're comfortable with.
Well, I don't want to wanna waste everybody
Well, yeah,
else's
it's
time,
not-
but
no,
this is
it's-
like my hang up, you know?
No, no, it's not a waste of time. You know, time is relative.